I like this sauce thick, so I'm not gonna add too much more liquid at all. Oh, that's good. If you see me like hobbling and wobbling in this video, it is because I have torn ligaments in my foot. Again. So yeah, these are some meals that I'm pretty obsessed with right now. By obsessed, I mean I've just been making them on repeat. Not just because they're very simple and easy to make, but also because they're so nutritious, satisfying, filling. Most importantly, they have to taste bomb. I'm not one of those people that just sees eating as a task. You know, like I actually have friends, don't ask me why they're my friends, that like they see eating as a task, where they're like, okay, make something quick, fill myself up, back to work. And I'm like, no, if I didn't enjoy it, it didn't happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So here are a few meals that I'm absolutely obsessed with, not just because they're filling, nutritious, very satisfying, but because they taste amazing as well. So I've made many creamy pasta dishes with sun-dried tomatoes as the main flavor, and I've made many with roasted red peppers as the main flavor. But let me tell you, when you combine the two with a creamy element, which I'm going to show you in a minute, it becomes something you've never even tasted before. Like the level of flavor in this, you got to be careful. You need to strap yourself down, because you might just have one mouthful and then just like ascend, because it's that good. And start to finish, this takes 15 minutes, and I make the best pasta, so that's a fact, by the way. So yeah, any pasta will fly, but if you want it to be like a good, like filling meal, especially if it's a post-workout meal, then chickpea pasta, red lentil pasta, pea pasta. Today I'm using chickpea because it's just always my favorite. Let's do it. I always use these long Romano peppers. They are more expensive, but they are like 10 times as sweet, especially when you roast them. Using about 6 of these large ones, which I know sounds like a lot, but don't forget we're gonna roast, caramelize, condense, and blend these, so we need a lot. Just crushing these to take the skin off the garlic cloves. I'm not gonna chop them up. I'm gonna roast them whole. And that way they get really, as you'll know, like really sweet and caramelized. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm putting in 5 big, and when I say big, fat cloves, I'm not allowed to say fat anymore, are you? 5 beautiful plus size cloves of garlic. No, 5 fat cloves of garlic. Some salt. Be generous with the salt. Just to add to the garlickiness, some garlic infused olive oil, although you can use any olive oil that you want. If you're still one of those oil phobes, you can just not use oil. Alright, so this tray is going into a preheated hot oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until everything is nice and sweet and caramelized. Do you know what, my Italian friend, Giuseppe, who you might know from Instagram, when we were filming together, he was like, no, we don't time the pasta. We just know. Like, we just know and we just taste. But the thing is, I have absolutely no concept of time. It could be like 45 minutes, and then I'm like, I personally still use a timer. That's what I'm talking about. You want them to be a little bit charred. Garlic should be nice and squish. Ooh, look at that. Try and get this all in. I very rarely get things in one go. There was no overflow there. I'm pretty impressed. Sun-dried tomatoes, sun-blushed tomatoes, whatever you want to call them. Don't really have an exact measurement for this. I would just say like that much. Lots of fresh basil, and I can tell you it does work with Thai basil too, because I bought that by mistake the other day, and I was like, oh, this is a bit different, but it did taste bomb. So 1/3 of a cup of hemp seeds. So this is the fatty element I'm choosing. You could use cashews, macadamias, walnuts too actually go really well with the roasted red peppers. But yeah, I prefer to use hemp seeds just because it's a nice bland, creamy base. But mainly because very high in omega-3, so it's just making this even more health beneficial. Especially to balance out the gallons of omega-6 I get from tahini, so. Lots of fresh lemon juice. Just a smidge of water to thin. Guys, can you hear the rain? Like it's actually pissing it down. I like this sauce thick, so I'm not gonna add too much more liquid at all. Oh, that's good. How annoying though, when that happens. Like, is there actually anything more annoying? I definitely over sauce, but I don't care. I like, for me, pasta is just a vehicle for sauce. I mean, not just, but like, mainly. Look at that. Simple, beautiful, easy, fucking delicious. I did add a little bit of the olive oil from the sun-dried tomatoes as well. Was also gonna say, this is incredible with nooch. I do often use nooch with this these days, but still, I mean, it's so flavorful, it doesn't need it. Another thing you can do with this as well, hold on. I was gonna say as well, something that is incredible that you can do with this, which if I do it later with the leftovers, I'll put some B-roll now and show you. If I don't, it'll be quite embarrassing and you won't see anything. What I would recommend doing with the leftovers is laying it out on a baking tray, put it in a hot oven just for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it is absolutely, add in a few more sun-dried tomatoes if you have them, banging, because then you have like a crispy element as well. Anyways, cheers. Can we talk about the humble parsnip? Because do you know what, guys? I've said it so many times in my career as a part-time foodie that the parsnip is the most underrated vegetable in the world, and I will always stand by that. I don't understand why it's just kind of a Christmas food, or is it a Thanksgiving food in the States? I don't know, but it's kind of like it's an occasion food. For me, I see it as best of both worlds. It's kind of like you get the sweetness of a carrot, but you get the starchiness and the comfort kind of feel of a white potato as well. It's so versatile, also so filling. If you're one of those people that find starches, like I do as well, like for example, potatoes are known to be an extremely satiating food. Trust me, until you try parsnips, because they're even a lot more dense and starchy, they are so filling, also extremely nutritious. This recipe is not really even a recipe. It's kind of just a celebration of one food that I'm gonna show you how to take something really simple and turn it into something absolutely spectacular just by cooking it in with the sauce I'm gonna show you as well, because of course it doesn't matter how good the thing you're eating is. Everything needs a sauce, everything needs a sauce. Everything in life is an excuse for a sauce. So yeah, it may not be the most balanced, complete meal. I'm fucking fed up of hearing that. But it certainly serves a purpose for the soul. Also, do you know what? Yeah, I'm really fed up of seeing people kind of just like disrespect the parsnip. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of an analogy. I have one in my head, but it's a very inappropriate one. So I'm not gonna say it. You probably got there. I mean, I always question the human race because nothing makes sense these days, but when you're boiling parsnips, instead of doing what the magic that I'm about to do with them, that's when you know people are just living in parallel universes. Tahini is one of the few things, parsnips are one of the few things that I don't think go with tahini. And I thought I'd never say that about anything. The thing about the parsnip is that it's so starchy that when you have like thick tahini with it, even if it's runny tahini, the mouthfeel you get is just too claggy. I don't know the exact definition of the word claggy, but I feel like by me saying that, you know what I mean. Got a lot of parsnips. Most people do peel these. Just the same with carrots. Whenever I roast, I always keep the skin on. I feel like it gives more flavor, more crunch. So we're just gonna cut these into long, thick strips like that. All we need is some salt. I was gonna say that's optional, it's not optional. Onion granules, essential. Garlic granules, now don't be tempted to use fresh garlic here, because trust me, the granules actually work better. Yes, oh yes, a little bit of nooch, something I thought I would never say, but I have noticed that it is so beautiful in its own way, when used in the right way, if you know what I'm saying. And of course, some good extra virgin olive oil. That's a lie, that was not extra virgin, it was just garlic infused olive oil. Give it a toss. Also gonna toss these with some fresh herbs, but not first before they go in the oven because they will burn. So toss with the fresh herbs afterwards. We're gonna whip up that sauce. I'm excited, I'm really excited. Like, I'm genuinely just excited that I get to eat these afterwards rather than like sharing this with you. Look at me with my baking parchment, guys. I went out and got baking parchment so that I don't get stupid vegan comments. And remember, the reason we're roasting is for that perfect crispy effect, which you won't get if you overcrowd. So give everything some space to breathe. I'm not gonna lie, I have kind of overcrowded, but it'll still work. Hummus is always your best friend when you need a creamy base. And obviously things like cashew butter too. Obviously there are so many things that people don't like food-wise, and I'm one of them. I can be fussy with certain things. I don't know what it is about dill. I just feel very protective over it. So whenever I hear anyone saying, oh, I don't like dill, I just immediately, I feel like I'm being attacked. Even the smell, even the smell. So just some reg hummus. Little bit of fresh lime juice. Lots and lots of parsley. Can we just appreciate the way these are roasted up? Can we just take a moment to appreciate? They're like crunchy yet succulent. The nooch does make a big difference to the flavor and the texture. It kind of gives it an extra bit of like crispy coating. And seriously guys, hummus with dill. I put like 2 whole heads of dill in there. Cheers. Fuck me, that dip. You can thank me later, guys. You can thank me later. Alright guys, do you know what? I was about to make something really extravagant out of these ingredients. I wanted to finish on a sweet, high protein note, and I was gonna make high protein granola. Like, I'll share that with you another time, but I thought, do you know what? We've used the oven enough in this episode. So this is a sweet, high protein treat for the gods, and it is, what do I even call it? That's the thing. It's my coconut, chocolate, cacao, peanut butter, oats. There's definitely something else in there as well that I'm forgetting. You can have this for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, whenever you want something sweet. Also, I like to make this very thick. There's a time and a place for, you know, slurping, but there's also a time and a place for spooning. I prefer to spoon these days. I think I said at the beginning of the video, but I do make most of my meals pretty high calorie because that's what I need. So, I mean, it goes without saying, but I know a lot of people don't have brain cells. I shouldn't say it like that. A lot of people don't have common sense these days. So obviously, do you know what? I don't even know why I'm explaining this, but obviously if you're a woman or a man that needs less than just half what I'm putting in, or just put in like a normal human amount of peanut butter and you'll be fine, okay? It's not that deep. I'm using the coconut protein powder from Vivo Life. This is the newest flavor and I have to say it bangs. Like, absolutely bangs, even just with like almond milk. Starting off with some squishy medjool dates. Look at that goo. Pure caramel. Frozen banana. Whole rolled oats. Hemp seeds as always. Scoop of the chocolate coconut protein powder. Thick, creamy coconut yogurt. Some good runny peanut butter. This is the bit that gets me excited. Peanut butter! Just a smidge of extra cacao powder because I want this to like bang with chocolate, you know. And some plant milk. This is the barista coconut from Alpro. Just staying with the coconut theme. Oh, so thick. We ain't done yet, hold on. Oh, that is already so coconutty, but just for texture, and honestly, this works really well when you either spoon or straw this. Layer it with desiccated coconut flakes. I would suggest 2 or 3 layers. Finish with a layer on top as well. Then it's almost like a thick chocolate coconut peanut butter parfait. wish I could actually explain to you how much pleasure this gives me. The thing is, it smells like pancake mix as well. I don't know why. Everyone knows that like chocolate, peanut butter go together. Everyone knows that chocolate, coconut goes together. Well, at least you should. But chocolate, coconut, and peanut butter together, that's when it's just next level of pleasure. Cheers.